Ashwasambham Shankaracharya Mutyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Shruti Prananamalim Karunalim Namami Bhagavad Shankaram Shankaracharya Keshavam Bhadarayam Sutramashikato Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishwaram Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapti Divaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Narayanam Padmavam Vasishtam Shaktim Jatat Parasharam Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Bhantam Govinda Yogindra Mathasi Shishyam Shri Shankaracharya Mathasi Padmapadan Chastavalakan Shishyam Tantotakam Vartikakaram Yanasmat Gurun Santatamadaposmi Sakshat Sachidanam Pratyagatme Makrim Tanmam Sasi Yogi Gamyam Param Padam Khanilagnyam Dharitrantam Sapani Utkatayitah Dhvantachide Namastasme Harayo Sakshine Shri Guru Sharma. Sorry. So, Apramottham. So, we saw this verse last 104. Apramottham Brahmothena Jnanam Jnanena Badhyate Ahirajvadivat Badaha Dehadhyatma Matestatha. So, the Dehadi being Atma, that kind of a Mati Buddhi, Ajnana Krita, undergoes Badha just like the Rajju Sattva, Ahirajju. Why? What is the reason? Siddhanti says because the apramotham jnanam pramothena jnanena badhyate. That jnana which has no basis, prama, another jnana as basis, is sublated by the jnana which has its basis in prama. Here we have seen pramajanyatvam. We can take pramanajanyatvam also, but pramajanyatvam is better here because in here shabda pramana works, but shabda jnana becomes prama as basis for nirakarana of anatma and then atma siddhi. We'll see this. So it's a simple verse, nothing complex there. The only problem is apramotham and pramotham. Prama word has been used as karana. For the prama utpatti itself, jnana is prama. Therefore, we saw in, except for pratyaksha, everywhere else, this is how the system works. But in the case of atma jnana, although shabda jnana is shabda is pramana and shabda janya jnana is what is finally going to fructify into moksha, the prakriya is different from the laukika process. We have seen that neti prakriya. We've seen many times. Same thing is going to come up again as to in the 105th verse. The introduction to the 105th, okay, 104 and 5 are together in the tika. So 104 said what? Kuta ityadina. So the kuta is here. So tadbhadas tattvadarshanaat iti kuta sambhavyate iti chet. How is it that the badha of ahankaradi, moha, is due to tattvajnana, tattvadarshana? How do you establish this? So for that, the shloka was given. Tikakara says, tattvadarshanaad iti uktam atmana abhyupagatam tatascha swatassiddhatva hanir iti ashankya pariharati laukiketi. So comment on 104th introduction and then introduction to the 105th by that. This is how he has used it. So he picked up the kuta word from the 104 introduction and used this entire sambandhokti and shloka to raise a doubt which led to the 105th verse. Introduction. So here what is the tippana there? One more. So darshana vishayatvam iti shesha. So what does it mean? Tattva darshanad iti uktam atmanah abhyupagatam kim. Atmanah abhyupagatam. What? Atmanah kim abhyupagatam? Acceptance of what? What have you accepted of Atma? Atmana Shashti, Abhyupagatam has been accepted. Fill in the blanks. Dash of Atma has been accepted. What is that dash? So here, Something is shesha. Otherwise, Anvaya is not possible. What? Tattva darshanat iti uktam atmanaha abhyupagatam. Kim abhyupagatam? There is no, there is no, nothing to be predicated. There is no subject to be predicated at all. So here, darshana vishayatvam iti shesha. So what does it mean? Atmanaha. How is the Anvaya? Tattva darshanat iti uktam atmanaha kim? Atmanaha darshana vishayatvam abhyupagatam. What was stated? Tattva-darshanat kim bhavati? Kimapi phalam bhavitum Tattva-darshana is due to Tattva-darshana. What happens due to Tattva-darshana? So he says, thereby Atmanaha darshana vishayatvam abhyupagatam bhavati. Atma is known through Tattva-darshana. Therefore, what is understood? Atma is darshana vishaya because Tattva darshan is Atma darshana really. So if you say Atma darshana, that is Atma. Tattva is Atma vishaya for darshana. Meaning jnana vishayatvam. Atma is jnana vishaya, is it not? If Atma is jnana vishaya, then how did you say swatah siddha? You cannot say swatah siddha Atma and then say you know this Atma through jnana. Tattva darshana. Contradictory. So it is not that the Purva Pakshi is not listening. Wherever there are flaws to be pointed, he is completely alert. Kaan khade ho gaye. So, so you see, dog or something, if it's, just flapping, its ears are not like that. But then when it hears something, then suddenly ears come up. Even for the calf, the calf bachada. So, kaan khade ho gaye. So, what is happening? What is happening? So, here, what did you say? No, I didn't hear it. So, there is a flaw. When there is a fault to be pointed out, he is fully alert to point out doshas. Tattva darshanad. And there is a swatah siddha, contradictory. He says, Tattva darshanad iti uktam kim atmanaha darshana vishayatvam jnana vishayatvam abhyupagatam tvaya eva siddhantina vedantina abhyupagatam chet tatascha kim bhavati. He says, so what? Siddhanti says, he says, so what? I'll tell you. He says, then swatah siddhatva hanihi. Cannot be swatah siddha anymore. You can't have it both ways. Is it swatah siddha or is it darshana vishaya? You tell me. So, iti ashankya pariharati. Siddhanti says, yes, you come from the loka, I understand. There is a difference. Laukike iti. So, thereby Sambandhoktikara says, Laukika prameya vailakshanyad atmanaha. Atma is not the way you think it is in the loka. Ghatapatadi vishayatvam, ghatapatadinam, jnana vishayatvam, chakshuradi indriya vishayatvam, sambhavyate. Atra tu nasti. Atmani nasti. Atmani vishaya tatha nasti. He says, Laukika prameya vailakshanyad atmana. Atma is separate from your ghatapatadi which are prameya in the loka. Atma is not like that, available for being vishaya of jnana, the way you have ghatajnana, patajnana. In ghatajnana, patajnana, ghatapata become jnana vishaya. Here also you think Atma is jnana vishaya like that. It is jnana vishaya alright, but not like that. What is the difference? Vailakshanyam asti. Kim tat vailakshanyam? He says, na iha anadhigata adhigamaha. Very nice word, makes you think. Na hiya anadhigata adhigamaha pramana phalam. Pramana, see, prameya is known through pramana. So when you say darshana vishayatvam, then you have to say pramana vishayatvam or prama vishayatvam also. Prameya, ghatapatadi is ghata prama and ghata prama, the pramana indriya, vishaya. Atma is not like that. What is the pramana phala there? Here jnana is pramana for that. Yes. Shabda pramanam asti. There also chakshuradi indriyani pramanani santi. In this case and that case, what is the vailakshanya? There, this prameya is not known first. That there is a ghata in front of you, you need chakshurindriya. You may know ghata, but right now there is a ghata in front of you, that ghata is unknown. So that ghata being made known is the pramana phala. Indriya sannikarsha pramana phala. Here also it is like that. It is not like that, Siddhanti says. Even the only difference is Shabda Pramana, right? Ask the Purva Pakshi. Siddhanti says that is not the only difference. Yes, it is the difference, but not the only difference. The main Pramana Phalam Kim. What is the Shabda Pramana Phala in the case of Atma? Atma becomes Vishaya for Shabda Pramana. Therefore, Darshana Vishayatvam Asti, Jnana Vishayatvam Asti. How is it different than Siddhanti says here this Anadhigata Adhigama means Anadhigatasya Adhigamaha. Anadhigatasya Vishayasya Adhigamaha Yatha Laukika Prameye Prameyeshu Padarteshu Tatha Atra Nasti Vishayeshu. In this case, Atmani Vishayetu Anadhigatasya Atmanaha Adhigamaha Jnanam Ajnatasya Anadhigatasya Ajnatasya unknown. Atmana of this Atma which is unknown. Now this Pramana Phala is what? It becomes known. That is not the case here. In Ghatapata it is there. Atma is already known. Jnatasya Jnanam. Natu Ajnatasya Jnanam, because Atma is Jnana Swarupa. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Atma is Jnanam. How can you not know yourself that it is the knower's very Swarupa? Knower's very Swarupa. Just like in the Laukika example, you may be searching for your kid who has gone elsewhere. Oh, where is this kid gone? Where is this kid gone? You cannot be searching for your where have I gone? Nobody has that buddhi, where have I gone? Let me see where have I gone. Nobody searches. That who am I inquiry is different. It is not where am I. Who am I is what is my real nature. We know ourselves. Samanyana jnatam. Vishesha jnatata is not there because Vishesha jnatata is in the other parts, Mishrita. So Pramana Phala is what? It is to take away the known as myself, which are not myself. Meaning known wrongly as myself, but not the real self. To remove all that. Chatana, so you remove the pebbles and then you have what is quality grain. So this is the case here. So Laukika Prameya, this is very important to understand. Everyone thinks Jnana gives moksha. It is not Jnana Vishaya also. I've said this multiple times across all pathas, all texts, but I'll mention if it is lost. Taittiriya Upanishad Bhashya. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, that Jnana, after explaining Satyam, Bhagavan Bhashyakara goes to Jnana. After explaining Jnana, he goes to Ananta Shabda. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, Ananta Shabda. Then he revisits, takes a Purva Paksha on Jnana. He has already explained, analyzing all that, all the Ludarthas. Akartari Chakarake Sanyaya. So Jnana Shabda can come in all of the meanings except Karta. All Karaka meanings except Karta. And we have seen Lu. Lu Pratyaya can also come, not only Lut. Lu will also give you Jnana. So Kartra Karaka also possible with Lu Pratyaya. Jnana Shabda can be there. This is not that. This is neither of those meanings, Karaka meanings. Not Kartru Karaka meanings, not Karma Ityadi till Adhikarana. Then what is it? Bhagavan Bhashyakara says Jnana is in the meaning of what? Bhava sadhana. He uses the word Bhava sadhana. Yaptihi ityartha. So with Tin Pratyaya, he says Bhave Vitpatti. Now Bhave Vityati means Kriya usually. Or what? Shuddha Dhatvartha. Shuddha Dhatvartha is Kriya. So it's pure knowledge. That's what it means. Knowing that the very Swarupa of knowing is Atma. To this, the Purva Pakshi comes back and asks, isn't it dependent again now? Because Nya Dhatu, you said Shuddha Dhatvartha, but Nya Dhatu is Sakarmaka. So karma dependency is there. You cannot have knowledge without Vishaya. So if Atma is of the Swarupa of knowledge also, knowing very Swarupa of knowing what? I'll ask you. Dependency is there. Bhagavan Bhashyakara does not say Satyam, does not say Bhadam, but answers that in acceptance. He accepts that. He says, therefore, that Bhava sadhana, Nyapti is also not the real meaning. I gave that meaning to take away all the Karaka Buddhi, but real meaning is Chit. He said Chit, Chaitanyam. If you say Chaitanyam, consciousness, then it is not Sakarmaka. You can't ask consciousness of what? Consciousness, that's it. Shuddha Chaitanyam ityartha. That is the idea. So here, na adhigata adhigamaha अनधिगतस्य आत्मनः अधिगमः आत्मनि विषये नास्ति प्रमाणफलम् किं तर्हि सो हियर इट सेज अविद्यानाशमात्रं तु फलमित्युपचर्यते नाज्ञातज्ञापनं न्याय्यम् अवगत्येकरूपतः सो न्याय्यम् न्यायात् अनपेतम् न्याय्यम् तद्धित. So he says Atma is what? Avagati eka rupatah. Avagati hi sarupam. Avagati hi jnanam sarupatah. Eka rupatah means what? Ekam rupam yasya. Tasma, this is the hetu. Atma is Avagati eka rupa. Avagati is the only rupa. Jnana Chaitanya is the only rupa. There is no other Mishrita rupa at all. There is nothing. Chaitanya, see, knowing something needs Chetana. Knowledge takes place in a Chetana Vastu. And you cannot have a Chetana Vastu which is itself unknown. Chetana has to be known. I know I am Chetana. How can I not know myself? I know I am Chetana. Due to Chetana, I know everything else. Then that Chetana, how will you know? Chetana is already known. You cannot have Chetana being to be known when Chetana itself is the hetu for everything to be known. Jada is known through Chetana. And then you say, how do I know Chetana? Chetana is self-revealing. Chetana does not need a pramana to say, oh, I am Chetana. Now, how will I know Chetana? Some means should be found out that I am Chetana. I have to establish. There is no need. Not possible, not needed, both. So, everything else to be taken away, what you remain is Shuddha Chetana. Everything came to light in the wake of Chetana. Swarupa. So, he says, Avagati Eka Rupata. That is Hetu. So, avidya nash, then what is it? What is this pramana phala? Darshana pramana phalam kim? Darshana, Shravana Mano Nididhyasana you do, Shabda pramana was, then Atma Vare Drashtavyas. Darshana is there through Shravana Mano Nididhyasana. Sadhana has been mentioned. So, kim nama Darshana phalam? What is it? Siddhanti says, avidya nashamatram tu phalam iti upacharyate na ajñāta jñāpanam. Here anadhigata adhigamaha na iha atmani vishaye. Here na ajñāta jñāpanam, same meaning. Anadhigata means ajñāta and adhigama is jñāpana. Adhigama is jnana, but here jñāpana is causative. There is no Shabda Pramana is not giving you a phala which is what? Making the Ajñāta Atma known. No. It is making the other Jnata wrongly. Making that as not you. Known as not you. This is not me. Neti, neti, naiti. So, na ajñāta jñāpanam nyāyam. Avagatihi avagatyeka rupatah. Single word. Avagatyeka rupatah. So, avidya nasha matram pramana phalam. Pramana phalam kim? Avidya nasha matram. Shabda pramana will give rise to Brahmakara vritti, which will take away Brahma Ajnana. That alone, Nashamatra is the phala. Nothing else to be done after that. Okay, destroyed something. Now what? It is not like go, go and bomb a country to Stone Age and then rebuild the country. It is not like that, like the Iraq case or whatever, the ongoing current case. So it is not like that. You did Nasha and then you rebuild something. It is not that. So avidya Nasha is Atma Prapti, figurative. So phalam tu phalam iti tu upacharyate. प्रमाण फलम यत अविद्यानाश मात्रम तदेव फलम इति उपचर्यते. In contrast, to show contrast from Laukika Prameya Lakshana. Laukika Prameya is not like that. Ajnata is made Jnata by Jnana, by Pramana. In this case, Ajnata Ansha itself is not there. Jnata Ansha is there, and there is another Jnata Ansha. But one is Yathartha, the other is Ayathartha. Body, mind, sense complex is me, that is also Jnata, but it is wrongly Jnata, Ayathartha. Atma is Jnata, but not completely Jnata. Why not completely Jnata? Because of veiling of Swarupa and Vikshepa in the form of Aham Dehadi Asmi. Ahankaradi Asmi, not Dehadi, Ahankaradi Asmi. Aham Manushya Ityadi. So that Jnata Ansha being taken away by Avidya Nasha, what remains is you complete. There was no Ansha at all really. But Anshatvena Jnata. I think that I am also there, Chetana, and this Manishatva is also there. That Manishatva being taken away, only I am there. There is nothing else. So Avidya Nasha Matram Pramana Phalam. In that Pramana Phalam also, Phalam, Pramana Phalam iti Upacharyate. It is a figurative usage, not really Phala. Praptasya Prapti is not Phala. I already have, you give me. Somebody says, Chaitra tells to Maitra, you give me so much. He says, you already had it. I didn't bring it. It is yours. It was all the time here, like the wealth. So hidden wealth, Bhagavad Bhashyakara elsewhere, he gives an example. Like the hidden wealth. Generational wealth is hidden in the village home. You are staying in that house. Don't know where it is. Didn't even know you had it. Somebody comes up and says, it is all yours, it is there. There are these people who say, the Sarpa is protecting, you have, I'll find out where it is, I can see it, all these siddhis, and they take a piece of it. I'll tell you where your generational wealth is. You're already rich. This fellow is living a poor man's life, does not have money, struggling. So you sansaris are doing that, living a very poor man's life, searching for Ananda. Ananda is the wealth really hidden within. So, passerby Guru points out, you have Ananda, it's generational wealth. Anadi Kalata, it is always there. That is the generational wealth. It's already there. You are searching for Ananda. It's already yours. Nothing to search. It's Purna. So, na ajnata jnapanam. Ajnata jnapanam nasti nyayam. Nyayam, na nyayam. It is not logical to say, oh, Atma which is unknown is now known. Atma is not unknown. Atma was known, additionally known as something else. That has to be taken away. Chaitra Maitra, again, example. Chaitra is a good boy. Maitra is mischievous. So, tagging along Chaitra and Maitra, they are always counted together. They both are like that. These kids are horrible. They make chaos here. Really, Chaitra, poor fellow, is doing nothing. Asanga. Asanga na sajjate. Papena, Maitra papena lana lipyate. But this fellow is somehow tainted. Everyone is saying this fellow, Chaitra Maitra like that. Chaitra Maitra like that. Chaitra says, has absolutely nothing to do with Maitra. But takes all the aropa. Chaitra thinks, people really hate me. So much of dukkha. Finally, parents separate them and said, Maitra, you stay away from my kid, Chaitra. And Chaitra, Swarupatha eva, Swabhavata, he is good. Sangha dosha goes away. So your Sangha dosha, Ahankaradi Sangha dosha is taken away by Jnana. What remains is Shuddha Chaitra Sthaniya Atma. In the example, really Atma Sthaniya Chaitra. So here, na ajnata jnapana. So what is the Anvaya here? So Pramana Phalam you have to take. Avidya Nasha Matram Pramana Phalam tu Phalam iti upacharyate. Phalam nasti ityartha. Phalam iti upacharyate. Upachara is not real. Ajnata jnapanam Atmana you would say. Atmana ajnata jnapanam na nyayam. Na nyayam. Why? Hetu is what? So we'll say Atmanaha ajnata jnapanam avagatyeka rupatah na nyayam. So here Panchami Arthi Tasil you can take. That is the Hetu. Because Avagati is the only Rupa of Atma, very Jnana Swarupa. How can it be Ajnata? So it is not the Jnapana of this Ajnata Atma which is Avagati Eka Rupa. Therefore, Nanyayam. It is not logical, not tenable. Nanyayam. Nyayat Anapetam na means what? Apetam eva. Nyayat apetam. It has fallen from Tarka. Tarka is not working, so you can ask me. Swatat siddhatva hani you can say nasti. Swatat siddhatva hani nasti. Pariharati. So parihara is given. Further, 106th verse introduction says Atma vyatiriktasya na Atma adhyakshatvad न तद अधीन अधिगमः आत्मा इत्याह यस्मादिति. There is a Tankana dosha here. Tankana in sense manuscript while copying something has gone by. This na is not making sense. It should be tu. So twatma adhyakshatva. That is how you have to read. So there's a tippana here which says what? Atma vyatiriktasya atma vedyatva iti api iti chandrikayam. Chandrika says what? Atma vyatiriktasya atma vedyatva. That which is separate from Atma is known by Atma. Atma itself cannot be known by Atma. Kartru karma virodha, we have started this section long back, multiple sections back actually, a long section. And then we moved on to some other Vishya in between. That has already been established. Kartru karma virodha. Atma cannot know Atma even in the statement Mam aham janami, Mam and Atma are not one and the same. They are different. Mam is ahankara, Mam is of the aham which is asmat shabda which is ahankara, and aham is of that asmat shabda which is in mukhya atma, sakshi, pratyagatma. So atma, pratyagatma vyatiriktasya kasya ahankaradinah ghatapatadi prapancha paryantasya anatmanah atma vedyatva. That can be known by Atma. Means sakshi rupena. Atma cannot be known by Atma. So Atma does not have, Atma has darshana vishyatvam, but not the way it is in loka. It is not anadhigata adhigama, but praptasya prapti means what? Adhigatasya adhigama. Jnatasya eva jnanam. You already know it. So this is how Chandrika says it. Ataha atra na atma ityasya sthane tvatma iti patitavyam. Tu atma iti. Not na atma, tu atma. Then only it will make sense. So here atma vyatiriktasya tu atma adhyakshatvad na tad adhina adhigamaha. So Atma knows what? Atma vyatiriktasya to Atma adhyakshatvat. Atma vyatirika, something vyatirikta, something which is different from Atma alone can be having Atma as adhyaksha. Atma cannot become adhyaksha for itself. Although you can say, kasmin shete, or there is a prashna there. What is the adhara in Chandogya 7th chapter, I think. So, whom is the Atma? What is the adhikarana of Atma? So, there is nothing is there. There is no adhikarana. So, when you say it does not become shunya, somebody may think that it is shunya. Or you can say Atma itself is there. Atma itself is support for Atma. No other support is needed. Meaning what? Atma cannot have, it's not literal, figurative usage. If you're looking for some other support, nothing is there. And then if you say, who is support? I am myself the support. When you say, I support myself, it is not literal. It means I don't need anybody else's support. That's what it means. There's no dependency. So, Atma Vyatiriktasya tu Atma Adhyakshattvadapi na tadadhina adhigamaha. Atma is not Atma Vyatirikta. To have Atma as Adhyaksha. So, tadadhina, Atma adhina, Atmana adhigama ityapi na sambhavati. Atma, so tadadhina adhigama means tadadhina tadadhigama. That is Atma. Atma adhina, Atma adhigama. Why not say so? That Atma, dependent on Atma, is Atma's knowledge. No? So Atma tadadhina adhigama Atma. Tat is not needed here. Adhigama Atma has been mentioned. So tadadhina Atma adhina Atmanaha adhigama. Atma adhigama. So Atma has been mentioned. Adhigama Atma. Shashti would have been better, but here in Samanadhikarana, adhigamaha Atma. Because he already said Avagati Swarupa. So Avagati is taken as adhigama here. Meaning Jnana Swarupa. Jnana, Atma is Jnana. And it is dependent on Atma. That is not possible. Iti aha yasmaditi. Thereby, in Sambandhokti, Bhagavan Vartikakara says, Yasmad anavabodha matra upadanaha pramatradeyaha tasmad. Actually, I would like to mention something else. I'll come to this. Here, what was mentioned in the earlier verse, Laukika Prameya Vailakshanya Atmana, those who have studied Panchadashi, for them, a note here, Bhagavan Vidyaranacharya uses the prakriya of Purvamimamsaka there and explains a particular thing on Ghatapatadi. He says, when you say Ghata, how is Ghata known and how is Ghata unknown? So he explains what happens in the prakriya. When the pramana, let's take the Ghata itself, Ghata and Ghata Rupa thereby. Chakshurindriya makes Ghata known. So what is the process? So we know the process of the, vritti vyapti, phala vyapti. We have seen it many times in many granthas. You will have seen it independently also. In this part also I had mentioned it. But there he says what happens really in the Tarka Bhasha. Using the Tarka language, he explains how Purvamimamsakas see it. They say that Ghata, when has Sannikarsha with Indriya, Chakshur Indriya, before the Ghata has various dharmas. So Ghata has Ghatatva. It has many features. If it is a red colored pot, then it has Raktatva. Not Raktatva, Rakta. Rakta Rupa. Rakta Rupa is there, sitting there. So all of these are, so if you say pot is red, then you say, yes, Raktatva you can say. Raktatva, Ghatatva, Kambu, Grivadi Matva, whatever akara. So if you say it's a big pot, you'll say Mahatva. All of these. So these are dharmas sitting there. But you don't know that pot. It is there. In the pot, it is there. So in that pot, what else is there when I don't know it? What is it? He says, there is Ajñātattva. Ajñātattva is there, sitting there. So this is that. This Anadhigatatva or Ajñātattva, that is the dharma sitting there. When the Chakshurindriya goes there, corrects it, and then it is known, oh, I am Ghata. Then what happens? Then that, what it does is that it takes away that Anadhigatatva or Ajñātattva, replaces it with the dharma, which is what? Jnātattva, Adhigamatva. Now you have, because this pot becomes known. Oh, Ghatamaham Janami. So in the Tarka it is explained. There is one dharma sitting there, Ajñātattva, or you can say Jnātattva dharma is not there. This is Ajñātattva is not, you need not say Ajñātattva is sitting there. You can even say this Jnātattva dharma is not there. Now when the Indriya Sannikarsha happens, Jnana takes place, then what happens? Jnātattva comes in there. So very programmatic also. Those have programs, you put some features there, you put some flags there or whatever, and then variables. So you set a flag. Astiva nastiva. Configuration. That is how the configuration is. So this is how he explains. Atma, known, unknown, so that can be extended there, but it is not the Mukhya Vedanta Prakriya. So thereby Panchadashikara Bhagavan mentions that this is also one possibility. Is there a question? No, okay, yes, I saw something. So I just wanted to mention that Amsha. So here what happened in the next verse? आत्मव्यतिरिक्तस्य न आत्माध्यक्षत्वादपि न तदधिगम सो टू आत्मव्यतिरिक्तस्य तु आत्म अध्यक्षत्वादपि न तद अधीन अधिगमः आत्मा इति आह यस्मादिति एंड देयर बाय in the sambandhokti yasmad anavabodha matra upadanah pramatradeya means what? Pramata, prameya, pramana, and you can take prama also there. All of these are what? Having basis in what? In anavabodha. Anavabodha is what? Avabodha is jnana. An is nai. So ajnana mityartha. Yasmad ajnana matra upadana. Ajnana matra anavabodha. Ajnanam matram tanmatra. So tadeva. Tadeva chin. So eva. Your matra means what? Eva. Anavabodha. Ajnanam eva upadanam. येषां प्रमात्रादीनां ते what? अनवमात्र उपादानः बहुरी. So ajnana alone is the basis for pramatra, prameya and pramana. Atma becoming pramata, and then the entire ahankaradi prapancha becoming what? Not ahankaradi. Pramata you already become, then everything outside. Ahankara is Sakshi Bhasya. Pramata cannot know. Pramata is part of the Antakarna. So there you can't say Ahankaradi. So everything outside, Deyadi. For that Pramata becomes the basis. But Pramata, for the Pramata to come up, Sakshi to become Pramata, you need Visheshana. That Visheshana is thrown by the Upadi becoming Visheshana is due to Ajnana. So Ajnana Matra is Upadana. Karana. Upadana means Karana. Mula Karana Mityartha. So Pramana, then Pramana Vyavahara leads to Prameya Sambandha, and then Prama takes place. All of these have basis in what? In Ajnana, Anavabodha, Ajnana. Therefore, Tasmat what? The 106th verse. Na vidantyatmanas sattam drashtudarshana gocharaha na chanyonyamato misham niyatvam bhinna sadhanam. So this niyatvam is not bhinna sadhanam. Like in Laukika, you have na vidanti atmanah sattam drashtudarshana gocharaha. One word. न च अन्योन्यम अतः अमीशाम ज्ञेयत्वम भिन्न साधनम. सो न भिन्न साधन. अमीशाम एशाम ज्ञेय अमीशाम ज्ञेयत्वम. Amisham, anybody Vyakrana, anybody knows what this Amisham Rupa is? What is this Amisham? Difficult to know. What does it appear to be? What is the Pratipadika, anyone?
अदस शब्द षष्ठी बहुवचन स्वामी जी.
I was just going to say not Uttam ji. Yeah. Adas Shabda. So Adas Shabda. Adas has difficult forms, Amushya. Shashti Ekvachan is Amushya. So Amisham. So of those, Adas is Asavaditya. So Tat is used in Paroksha, very far away. And Etat is used for this, Idam Etat, very near. Adas is also for something which is very far. But if you see the difference, this difference may not be really expressed in Vyakarana Shastra. Adas and Tat are used interchangeably also, but Dure. However, if you see, not Saha Surya, not Saha Aditya, but Asav Aditya, Asav Aditya. Why Asav? So if you see Tat is Paroksha, very far also, and Paroksha. Others is for what? Very far, but also seen. Surya is very far, but seen. Imagine how far it is. Science mentions a distance which is, in light years. How much time light takes to reach here? Light years. That is a distance. Light years is a distance. It is not kala. How much time light takes to travel this? That is the distance. Distance is measured by the number of years of reaching. Billions of billion. So such kind of count. So that is still pratyaksha. Surya is pratyaksha. If it is pratyaksha, why don't you say esha idam? You can say esha pratyaksha, but not right here. So tat, but still far away, others is used. So I've seen that kind of, just as an explanatory note, it may not be idamitham. So here if you see atmana sattam, this drashtru darshana gochara karta, kartrupada. Drashtru darshana gocharaha atmana sattam na vidanti. They don't know. Why? Jadatvat. Drashta is jada. Drashta with Atma Chaitanya, he comes to life as though Pramata. Darshana, Pramana, Pramaya. So Drashtru Darshana Gocharaha. Gochara in the reach, you can say in the reach of Drashta and Darshana, Atma Satta is not. Therefore, na vidanti. So Atma Satta, those who know this Drashta Darshana Ityadi, when you know yourself as Drashta and then you are using Darshana and then to have the Drishya Padartha made known. And this is Upalakshana, Shravya also. All of these with Shabda Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha are Drishya and Pramanas are there, Indriyas for each. Shrotradi Indriya. And I am Drashta, Shrota, Ityadi, Manta also, using in Antakarana, the subtle mental thoughts. So all of these are known. But Atma is Atma known like that, Atma Satta. Atma Satta is Rahu Shri Shashti here. Atma is Satsarupa. Atmana Satta is what? Is Atma. Atma Satta is Atma Eva Sat. Shashti is in Aveda here. Rahu Shri Shashti. So Atmana Satta Drashtru Drashtana Gochara na vidanti. Why? Because Drashta, Darshana, all of these are Jada. They are Jada. So Chetana is not in the reach of Jada. Jada becomes Chetana, Prakashya. So in the reach of Chetana. Everything is in the reach of Chetana. Simultaneously, Yugapat we have seen across Desha, Kala, etc. But anyway, we still reserve that for Paramatma, that Atma. Nacha Anyonyam. Okay, Drashtur Darshana, Ityadi, they don't know. Triputi does not know Atma, but how about they know each other? Is it not true that the Drashta knows the Drishya Ityadi? Says they don't know each other. Without Atma Satta, it is not possible. That is the idea. So, Nacha Anyonyam. Nacha Anyonyam Kim? Vidanti. Nacha Anyonyam Vidanti. They don't know each other also. For same hetu, Jada. Ghata cannot know another Ghata or Pata. You look at Ghata. Ghata says, I don't care for you. Pata can look at me. I don't need you. Such is not the case. Jadatva. So, they cannot know Atma, they cannot know each other. Everything else which is put together is for the Chetana. Chetana alone, they serve the purpose of the Chetana. Samsaritva only purpose. They serve. Here. Therefore, what ataha amisham jnayatvam bhinna sadhanam nasti. This is a little tricky construct. Okay, amisham niyatvam bhinna sadhanam na. You can't take na here. Amisham or sorry, na does not go there. I use this na. So amisham nacha anyonyam atah. So atah separate sentence. Therefore, amisham niyatvam bhinna sadhanam asti bhavati. So this amisham niyatvam. Amisham means what? The niyatvam of those. Of those means what? Of those drashta, darshana ityadi, triputi. So who knows the triputi? Who is known? They don't know each other. They can't know Atma, they can't know each other. So who knows them? Atma knows them. So bhinna sadhana. Bhinna sadhana means what? Drashtrudosh darshana gochara bhinna. Anatma bhinna. Anatma bhinna is Atma. So Atma jnayatvam ityartha. Atma sadhanam. Atma jnayatvam is what? Bhinna sadhana. Bhinnasya atmana sadhanam. They are known from due to Atma. So jnayatvam, bhinna sadhanam. Atmana, through the Atma. Not literal again. Saksham, Atma is Sakshi and they are all Saksha ityartha. They don't know each other. They cannot know Atma. They don't know each other. So Atma knows them. This is the idea here. Yasmad anobodhamatra upadana pramatradeya. The pramatadi also, they are avidyajanya. Only Atma can cause that. Jadatva is one hetu. And the ajnana karya. Atma is not ajnana karya. Anatma is all ajnana karya. Therefore, ajnana karya cannot be the basis of jnana. They cannot know. Chetana, they are not Chetana. So here, bhinna sadhanam is, Atma is bhinna and niyatvam, amisham niyatvam, bhinna sadhanam is drashtru darshana gochara bhinna sadhanam. Or here, bhinna sadhanam, you can even see, let's see if anything is in Tika additionally. Atma vetiriktasya na, Atma, there two Atma, na is replaced by two. So Atma vetiriktasya tu, Atma adhyakshatvat, na tad adina adhigamaha Atma itiha yasmariti. Meaning what? Anyonyavadekatvam api kim na syaditi tatra nacha iti. So this nacha has been mentioned. Okay. Anyonavad anyonyavat ekatvam api kim na syat iti. On that there is a tippana. Drashtu darshana gocharaha drashta darshanam gocharaschcha. Gochara padartha. All those are in reach of the Atma. Or drashta also. Drashta has all the gochara, ghatapatadi, prameya. Prameya ityartha. Basically prameya. Drashta, pramata. Darshana is what? Pramana. Gochara is prameya. In the reach. Prameya. Te tavat swatmanam swayameva na jananti. Swayameva means what? Drashta, darshana, gochara, all these. Swayameva means what? Without Atma. On their own, without Atma, they cannot know. Yes, Brahmakara vritti, through that we know. I know myself through the Brahmakara vritti, Brahmatmakara vritti. But not on its own. They cannot know on their own. They need Atma and Atma knows. So here, te tavat swatmanam swayameva na jananti jadatvat, because they are jada. I can use them. Give them Atma Satta, Atma Janya Bahana. They come to light. They become useful. And then make Atma known how? Through taking away Ajnana. And Ajnana Karya. What we saw earlier. Swatasiddhatvam asti. Na api anyonyam. Do they know each other? They don't know each other. Appears so. Drashta. Oh, I am seeing. I am a seer and then seeing. I am seeing. Not the drashta. Not the antakarana. Gata. Drashta. Antakarana gata. That pramatru dharmatvam is there in antakarana only. That pramata does not know. So finally, everything is known by Sakshi. Everything is known by Sakshi. Pramata is a role played by the Sakshi alone with the Visheshana of the Antakarana. So here, Napi Anyonyam Vidanti. Here, Jananti. Ataha Tesham Swavyatirikta Atmavedyatvam Swavyatirikta Bhinnatva. So here, Tippanakara says that Bhinna. So Tadbhinna is what? Drashtu Darshana Gochara Bhinna is Vyatirikta is Atma. And Atma, here, Swa Vyatirikta Bhinna is Atma. Atma Vedyatvam. Sadhanam word has been used there. That is Vedyatvam. You have to understand Vedyatvam eva. Tasmat na tadadhina adhigama adhigatihi. Adhigatihi Atma. So Adhigati word has been used. Adhigati, Adhigamaha, Avabodha. This is all in the same meaning. Jnana. So na tadadhina adhigatihi Atma. Here tadadhina, I have taken Atma Adhina. And you can take tat, two tatas different also, as per the Tippana. That is much better. So here what was said here in the Tika, tadadhina adhigamaha na Atma. So tadadhina, this tat has to be taken as anatma. So you say Atma Vyatiriktasya to Atma Adhyakshatvat na tadadhina. So Atma is not known by Atma as a Vishaya, not known by Anatma also. So I explained Atma, Tat as Atma. Now Tippana says Tat you can take as what? Anatma. Because Anatma, Atma Vyatirikta Anatma. What are those? Drashtu Darshana Gochara. All of these. Pramata, Prameya, Pramana, Prameya. Prameya anyways, nobody says Prameya is the knower. Nobody says Pramana is also knower. Pramata, some people have Bhranti that Pramata is the knower. So that Pramata, Drashta, is also not the knower. Why? Because it has basis. Atma Vyatirikta, Drashta. But to Atma Adhyakshatva, Atma Adhyakshatvad, Drashtu, Atma Vyatirikta Drashtu, Pramatuhu, one who is separate from the Atma. Who is that Drashta? Darshana Gochara will set it aside because nobody has that Bhranti. Drashta sees Atma. No. Why? Drashta himself has basis. Adhyaksha is Adhyakshatvam Kutra, Atmani. So, na tadadhina adhigamaha. Tadadhina is Drashta. Anatma adhina adhigamaha Atma na. Avagati word has been used in the Tippana instead of adhigama. That's all. So, anyonyavadekatvam api kim na syat. Iti. On that, there is a Tippana. He didn't talk about this anyonyavadekatvam. Anyonyavadekatvam means what? This ekatva. Ekatva, you can take Atma Swarupa. Like Anyonya, here, this ekatvam, Atmana, Jnatam, if you say, in the first half of the verse, not the second half. Second half will not bring this question. Second half is introduced with this. If you say, Drashtru Darshana Gocharaha, Atmana Sattam na Vidanti, let it be so. Let it be so in your view. Purva Pakshi will say, let it be so in your view. Not in mine. Why? See, Atmana Satta. Satta is what? Eka Satta. Ekatvam. That cannot be known. If you were to say, you the Siddhanti, Purva Pakshi says, this Drashtru Darshana Gochara, this Triputi, the triad, they know each other. So if they know each other, what is the harm in knowing this Ekatva of Atma? Why not? Why not so? Drashtru Darshana Gochara is what? Triputi. And Anyonya Vat. Ekatvam api, you have to say Jnatam. Kim na syat. Why can't Atma Ekatva be known the way they know each other? If they can know each other, why can't they know Atma? That can be understood here because otherwise this sentence does not make much sense, okay, to me. Mama manda buddhe. So I don't understand this statement. Tippanakara also just mentioned something else of the earlier statement. He did not close this Anyonyavad Ekatvam, although Tippana is on this. There is nothing there in the second Tippana. So to me, this is what it means. Because the introduction is to what? Tatra aha nacha iti. Na cha anyonyam ataha amisham nyayatvam bhinna sadhanam. Because ekatvam api, anyonyavad ekatvam kesham, there is no ekatvam of drashtru darshana gochara, they are not one. So ekatva is usually in the Atma. And here we are talking about na vidanti. So the akshepa has to be vidanti. So ekatvam vidanti, anyonyavad. So you can say, here when you say na vidanti, the akshepa is what? Drashtu darshana gochara atmana sattam na vidanti. Siddhanti says, iti chet Purva Pakshi will say, if you say so, then it is not so, na tatha. Why? His akshepa is what? Anyonyavad. Anyonyavad. Triputi, drashtudarshana gocharaha, anyonyavad ekatvam api, kim na syat means what? Ekatvam api, kim na jnatam syat is better. That's how we have to say, na vidanti. Vidanti eva ityartha. Anyonyavad vidanti. Just like they know each other, they may know Atma also. Siddhanta is no. Or you can say what? Anyonyavad. If they know. Maybe they don't know Atma, but they know each other at least. No. So that can also be taken. Because otherwise you have to make some sense of this. Ekatvam. See, ekatvam, that is the. So if you say Anyonyavat kimna syat, that would have been easier. But ekatvam api, the word has been used. Ekatvam, if you take away, it makes sense. Ekatvam, if you add, you have to question. What is ekatvam? Ekatvam kim na syat? I can't see any other padacheda also. So my understanding is you can take it in two ways. One is that drashtu darshana gochara, they know each other. Why can't they know the Atma Satta meaning ekatva? That's one akshepa. Other way to see it is what? Drashtu darshana gochara, they know each other. They know each other. So thereby second ekatvam kim na syat, I have to use ekatvam again. So does not make much sense to me. I tried the second interpretation. Drashtu darshana gochara ekatvam sattam ekatvam gochara tesham ekatvam also does not make kim na syat. Anyonyavad. See, if you say anyonyavat, then ekatvam does not make sense there. So tesham ekatvam you cannot take. So we'll take it this first option itself. This is what I can make sense out of. Anyonyavad ekatvam means anyonyavad, when they know each other. Similarly, ekatvam api kim na jnatam syat. Why? Why can't they know? Why can't it be known by them? To this, Siddhanti says, tatraha nacha anyonyam nacha anyonyam vidanti drashtu darshana gocharaha. The pramata, pramana, prameya do not know each other. Swatantrena atmana sattam na vikti, anyonyam api na vikti. That is the idea. So how is it possible that they'll know? That's why they are bhinna sadhana. They themselves are known through someone else. They don't know each other. They are jada. They cannot know Atma. They don't know each other also. For to know them also, Atma is needed. This is the idea in the 106th verse. We look at more in the next part. We'll stop here. Drashtradi vyatirikta Atma nasmakam prasiddha. We'll see that in the next part. Anything else left over? 107. So this is the start of 107. Yat sakshat satchidanandam pratyagadvema kriyam tannamami nirasya yogi gamyam param padam. So with the tippana, we make some sense of the tika sentences. Sometimes with the tippana also, the tika sentences are not clear because tika has got corrupted across, looks like it has got corrupted across copies. What was more elaborate perhaps, or what was a later tika, Chandrika, that took precedence, and maybe that survived was preserved in a better manner. This got lost somewhere. So it is there is a lot of parallel also in similar lines seen, but then differences are there and very unclear. Perhaps the manuscript got corrupted, and then that's how we can't make sense out of the tika. That's what I would give in my defense. So hold on to it. The idea I am hoping that is clear. So don't hold on to some words and say this word is not clear. It is not clear to me also. It is not clear to the tippanakar also. He also didn't write. So anyway, so we make do with what it is. We get the tattva and the bhava. Sometimes it is not literally possible to, not possible to see it literal. So we have to take the bhava artha. Okay, namaste, dhanyawad.
Namaste.